Okay. Um. Good. Good evening, everyone, and madam. So today, me and Chen is going to present the poem Home Burial. So it's a lengthy poem, as madam said. Maybe some of you, if you're interested, you can click you can search it on Google, because we didn't really put the poem into the slides because it's too lengthy. Okay, so if you guys are interested, you can search it on Google. Just type Home Burial. Um, yeah, and then you Home Burial by Robert Frost, and then you'll get the full poem. All right. So okay. Well, so let's talk about the form first. So why this poem is lengthy? Is because that this is a dramatic lyric form. This poem is written in dramatic lyric form. Basically, it's like a story or a drama where when you read it, you can imagine the situation. You can imagine. You can actually think think about the scenario and everything and how it's happening. So the stanza usually breaks an echo where quoted speech ends or begin. Okay, so initially when I first read the this poem, I thought it was about depression or suicidal until one sentence where the poem starts saying, "But I understand it is not the stones but the child's moan." And then only I realized that the whole poem is talking about mourning and grieving about their child's death. So of course, that's the main big umbrella topic. Underlying the umbrella topic, talking about how the parents having mental breakdown, how the husband and wife are having different views about the child's death, with resulted in issues with marriage, and of course issues with gender, how the wife can mourn about the child, but then the husband somehow have to um like pretend everything is okay, that he can't even mourn about it, something like that. Okay, so we will go into details later, but then after that will be presented by my friend Chen Lulu.
Yes, thanks and for Jason's presentation. Next, I will share my content about two parts. The first part is about the two different ways of grieving. In this portrait, the husband and the wife represent two very different ways of grieving. The wife's grief influences every part of his emotions, and she does not win with time. Mm, um, she's had some loss she can't accept from God. From this sentence, we can know she will not accept this kind of grief. She will not turn from grief back to the world of living. For to do so is to accept the death. The wife declares that the world is evil. From this sentence, we can know she always keep a negative or sorrow negative feelings. She can't accept the death. On the other hand, the husband. From the husband um, has a totally different attitude. Uh, he has accepted the death. Right? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The husband can accept the death. Time has passed, and he might be more like now to say, that's the way of the world, that the world is evil. He did grieve, but the outward indications of his grief were quite different from his wife. He threw himself into the horrible task of digging his child grave into physical work. And this action further associates the father with this action maybe can tell some tell us some feelings about the father. Meanwhile, we can from the husband action, we we should I think we should learn from the husband. The when we face some trouble or some setbacks in life, we should learn the attitude of the husband. Next, about the vocabulary terms and the phrases. Just next page. Next page.
Yes. I already.
Yes. No. Yes, this poetry pays special actions to the tongue, vocabulary, and phrasing of the dialogues. And the time at the time of our home burial and publication, it represents a truly new poetic genre, extending the dramatic exercise in the natural speech rhythm regions people with vivid characters. Yes, in the end, I want to share some attitude towards life. Um, dance and dance is the hardest reality of one's life. That is why the wife and the husband find it's so hard. It's so hard to understand each other at the death of their first child. Um, maybe. Maybe learn to forget the heart of painful things. We can have more happiness. After all, life has another meanings. So, that's my sharing. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so to go into a bit of detail of what I want to show. Wait, yeah, I'll share screen for the poem. Wait, yeah. Okay, so one of the example where there's an issue with the husband and the wife is that, for example, this instance, it's quite straightforward. My words are nearly always an offense. I don't know how to speak of anything so as to please you. Basically, just from this, we can see that the anything that came out from the husband's mouth, it will trigger some bad memories or some unwanted memories for the wife. So even when the husband tries to comfort her, she will think that, oh my gosh, how can you get over our child so fast? In some instances, I think the wife said something along the line, "Are you the are you the man? I feel like I don't know you anymore." Yeah, so it's like their whole relationship is collapsing just because the husband chose to get over the death of his child, and the wife did not. Okay. Yeah. So you can because you don't know how to speak. Yeah, and for instance like this, you can't because you don't know how to speak. If you had any feelings, you that dug with your own hand, how could you? His little grave. I saw you from that very window there, making the gravel leap and leap in air. Leap up like that, and land so lightly, and roll back down the moat beside the hole. I thought, who is that man? I didn't know you. And I crept down the stairs and up the stairs to look again, and still your spade kept lifting. You came in, I heard your rumbling voice on out in the kitchen, and I don't know why, but I went near to see with my own eyes. You could sit there with the stains on your shoes of the fresh earth from your own baby's grave and talk about your everyday concerns. You had stood the spade up against the wall outside there in the entry, for I saw it. So this whole stanza is like talking how from the wife's perspective, how can one, dug the grave of his own child and yet come back to where he lived, just sit there with the stains at your shoes and then talk about his everyday concerns, like maybe what he's going to eat next, what he's going to have for dinner, something like that. Yeah, so basically you can see just because two of the husband and wife have different perspective of the child's death, it issues in um in their relationship. There's an issue in their relationship where the marriage is collapsing. Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, Lulu, is there anything you want to add?
No, no.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
yeah, so
That's all.
there's basically this is
Our
the gist of the poem. If you read it, you can it's fairly direct and simple because it's like a drama, so you can actually imagine how it will be. All right, that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. My internet connection is is so unstable. I've been kicked out and coming in and all that, and I wasn't able to actually follow Lulu's, and also um that's I mean the way that the two Mary because I think I think in the lines like I don't have the poem with me because with my handphone my data no internet and both of them
Sorry, madam, I think your line is a bit black. We can't hear what you say.
just now while you were presenting I was kind of coming in and out of the yeah anyway if you look at the poems yeah I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to be kicked out again, so rather than um, being waiting and waiting because I think today the internet connection is just not so good, yeah. So what I'm going to do is that there are some like from last week Raven, and there are a few poems. I feel that we need to have further discussion. And like today, the home burial and Birches also, I feel that we need to have more discussion on it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open a discussion space. Um, I will inform you in the WhatsApp group when you can actually start the conversation on the poems that I feel, you know, we need more discussion. And I want you to actually go to my blog spot, you know, and we'll have, you know, our discussion there. I will create a space for us to have discussion. And then, you know, we can continue our discussion there, because I think today, you know, looking at, you know, the signal, I just have like 1 or 2 bars. Yeah. So I'm just going to be kicked out any moment. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to stop the presentation until home burial.